Well, this isn't supposed to be me. What in the world is going on here? It's Tuesday. It's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. And you've got me? That can't be right. We should check our calendars. It's true. Adam is currently in transit, or maybe not in transit, or stuck somewhere, or maybe under snow. We don't really know where he is at this moment, but I think he is going to try and check in later. So you got me. I'm gonna host this thing, but I've called in a bunch of friends. So many friends. I'm gonna start out with the buddy of mine that basically saved my bacon on Friday and who enjoyed a lovely buffet breakfast with me almost every morning. Ladies and gentlemen, comic shop assistants own and the comic place in Bellingham and fellow data bro and probably 3 other titles that I'm forgetting. Django Boren, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Adam, it's good to see you.
I'm not Adam. It's Brian. It's Brian. It's the other guy. It's the other bro.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's Bellingham? Have you recovered? Are you back in the?
I'm back.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I think our whole team hit the ground running on Monday when we returned. I did 10 hours of work yesterday somehow.
Yep. And then
for a day to just nap and rest my bruised brain, but here we are.
Speaking of napping, when I spoke to our next entrant yesterday and was asking him to do me just 7 quick favors, and then I'll let you have the week off. He was napping, ironically. It's Blake Morgan.
Hey, I woke up early and then my body's like, nah, we're good.
Sleepy boy.
Well, and then that's because that was the story, right? It's a unique episode today, right? And so there were plans laid out, and they were like, we'll give Blake the day off, and then Brian didn't want to do that. That's fine. I even complained to Megan. I was like, it feels weird not. I've been like sitting around all morning, like, what do I do today?
Oh yeah,
what is happening?
This felt like the old days. I panically created a slide deck at about 11:30 this morning, and then was jamming things in till 1:26. It's my happy place to be there. And speaking of happy places, our next contributor is the Chief. And man, I saw him schmoozing and boozing. Actually, I don't think he was boozing, but he was schmoozing with everyone at ComicsPRO. And I think he's got a really good story that we can share if we share it about the Comics the Magazine party. It's our Chief, Joseph Keating.
Hello. Yes, definitely no boozing, but plenty of schmoozing.
There was a lot of schmoozing. Yeah,
A lot of schmoozing. But it was easy because people were really excited. People were just like, "Oh, you're doing a magazine that's about having fun with comics." Like, all right, we like fun with comics. Let's talk. So it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. And the guy who was pretty much at your side the entire time, director of business development. Oh, he's ducked out of the way, but there he is, Gabe Yoakum.
Oh, we're here, and I swear I didn't just wake up 9 minutes ago.
Yeah. You told me you were busy with something.
My head was buried in the pillow.
That's busy. That's busy with something. How was the show for you, Gabe? Because you've got an interesting.
It was wonderful. I'm sorry to step all over you, but it's always wonderful at ComicsPRO. Like I haven't been since 2023, so this was a bit of a homecoming for me, and one that I was very, very much looking forward to because of what we're all building together. But I didn't. I always expect it to be a good time and kind of feel like a family reunion to some degree, but I never expected to walk out of there as high as a kite like I still feel like I am today.
Well, we were in California.
That was just a contact high I gave. That was a contact.
That's a good point. Yeah, I did not stop at any dispensaries despite my overall sort of vibe.
me and a comic book creator I won't mention accidentally almost did because he was hungry for a snack. We were walking down Sunset, And we're like, oh, there's a really fancy grocery store here. We'll go in there. And then we go in, and it's all marijuana products. Neither of us partake. So it's just like, well, this is not a Whole Foods after all. It's different around here.
I bought some Mentos at a dispensary while we were down there. And believe it or not, the Mentos in dispensaries are apparently really stale. I think it's maybe not their core offering.
Mentos not fresh and full of life?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Mentos taking your teeth away. I warmed them with my body and they got a little bit better.
That it's so gross that you were offering me Mentos all week, and now I know why. Django's party trick is that he likes to give me warm things. It's so gross, so gross. I know, it's not right. It's not right. So I want to save like the real good stuff for the show.
Yeah.
But does anybody have a little anecdote they'd like to share? Something fun that happened?
Yeah, I got a good one.
What do you got, Blake Morgan?
I bumped into Jonathan Hickman in the foyer or whatever.
Yeah.
I Midwestern me, I was just like, oh, sorry, and then I looked up and saw who it was, and I was like, oh shit. I don't usually bump into people like you. And he goes, okay. And I was like, oh my God, why did I say that?
Hickman's a cool dude. Don't worry about it. He's totally
No,
cool.
it was just, but that was like the first, like big recognizable person I saw. Cause it was the, what was that? Wednesday night? Like the first creator signing night.
Yeah.
And so like, it was just like, I was hyped and I was, everything was cool. And yeah, I was running. I think I was running to get a wire or something, and I bumped into this guy, and it ends up being like Jonathan Hickman, and that just like that kind of set the vibe for the weekend though, because it was just like you never know who you're gonna see when you turn around a corner. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, Blake, you were hyped?
I was pretty hyped. Man.
That was my entire takeaway from that story. Blake hyped. What a rare occurrence.
I got a little bit of one. Oh, I guess we all have one. When I used to work at Image Comics when it was in Berkeley, and our local comic shop was Comic Relief, Roy Root store.
Yep.
And they had this, they had an auction for Bink. And so one of the things on auction, and it was the most tempting auction of all time because it was all stuff for, this like group of weirdos, right? But the thing that I bid on, and I'm happy to announce that I won, was Rory made a list of comic books for libraries.
Yeah.
Back in 2000.
Yeah.
And it's this fascinating look into what were the books that he was pitching to make this market totally pop off. And for anyone who knew Rory, you'll be happy to know it smelled like cigarettes and was slightly stained. And it was just anyway, I thought it meant a lot because I love that guy. I miss him a lot. It was cool to get that there. So thank you. Titan Comics actually donated to the auction. Just want to thank those guys.
I love that kind of ephemera.
That was a cool night. That totally lived up to all the hype I'd heard going into the week.
The auction was awesome.
It's the best party. It's so fun and just all
that.
Yeah,
and how much did it raise for Bink, Blake?
61,000.
And I actually heard there's more because they have to finalize the
silent auction.
We went on too long. So many people were so generous with the donations and stuff to auction. We had to cut it early, so the next day they silent auctioned the rest of the stuff. So they still have to finalize.
Oh, that's not even the silent auction stuff?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it may be 65, 66.
Dude, I think it might be $75K.
Depending on.
There were some items on there that were going for $500 to $1,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you my auction story because I gave away a website, and when I stood up on the stage and they announced that it was website built by Brian Garside, Managed Comics, I swear to God, I heard boos in the back corner. And I was a little bit crestfallen. I was like, oh, I just thought it was, one of my competitors is booing. Oh, okay. So we do the thing. It ended up going for $3,500, which was awesome. Went to Jen King. So I'm really excited to work with her. And then the next day, somebody goes to me, did you hear the cheers when they announced that you were doing a website. I was like, no, I heard booze. And he's like, no, it was ooze. Everyone was like, ooh. And I heard boo.
I was saying boo earns.
It was. Producer Kyle the Exhausted.
I was actively cheering because that was my contract until she bought it from you to build her website. I'm so excited to not have to build her website.
That's amazing. You're not really selling this experience for me, Kyle.
No. No, like
For charity.
You're going to build a great website for her.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it in a timely manner, and it's going to be professional. And it was going to take me till 2030 to get it done.
Fair
so,
enough, yeah.
like, this is great. Like, and she's going to have a much better website because you're doing it rather than this schmuck.
Yeah.
So, like, the second she starts bidding, I go, oh, thank God. Like,
If it wasn't Jen, I was going to go for it. Hard.
Yeah. Well, you're probably going to get one anyway. So.
Yeah.
Because you just can't stop making websites.
It's true.
Well, I just wanted my band to have a website. It's like
That's
a
what Jeff said,
one-page
too.
kind of deal.
Jeff said the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
Like after that, I had probably at least 3 stores and one major publisher come up to me and say, I know you said you're not doing them anymore. Would you do more? This was not supposed to be a lead generation tactics. Damn
My
it.
big heart.
Right?
Sure.
Dang it.
Wink, wink,
Yeah,
wink, wink.
we'll make you. No, it wasn't. Honest to God, Dave. Honest to God, it wasn't. But I may actually have to hire people to help me build websites because there's a huge demand for it and it makes sense. So we'll see.
Yep. So before we jump on live here, I'll tell my quick little fun piece. Joe and Adam and I went to dinner on, oh God, I don't even remember what night it was now. Sunday night. At Cantor's. We went and had some meats, right? We had some meats together. And you see, it was really nice to meet Joe in person because I'm often the biggest man in the room by a long margin. Large margin, right? Like I'm 6'5" and 350 plus, right? And when I saw Joe eye to eye, I was like, all right, these are my people. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So he takes us to Cantor's and we proceed. Have you ever seen the episode of The Simpsons where Homer gains weight to go on disability so he doesn't have to go to the and his belly is hanging over the bar, the towel bar, and he's really 315 instead of 300? This is how I felt when we sat down at the booth at Cantor's because my belly was literally sitting on top of the table for an hour while we ate pastrami. And
it was a good pastrami, though, right? Like it was worth it.
Worth every moment of pain. No question.
My favorite restaurant in the world, by the way, is Cantor's.
Amazing.
Michelin star from me.
Stuck in time. Stuck in time. Amazing stuff.
I'll tell you, the both years we've seen that place between the 2 hotels called Crab Avenue, and I keep threatening that we're going to eat there.
Was it good?
It was actually not bad.
Adam
I
and
thought
ate
about
there.
it every day. I was like, I bet it's got good seafood.
Adam and I ate there. It was like an episode of Kitchen Nightmares in the lobby. There's no question. You're going, wait, is that like a chair that is from like a Parisian cafe?
Yeah.
Everything's mismatched. I got fried food to be safe. Adam, in his intense bravery, got seafood jambalaya.
That guy right down there did the same thing.
You're out of your ever-loving mind.
But you know what?
We Yelped it. We looked it up on Yelp, and it had a ton of 5-star reviews.
1,000 reviews and like 90% 5 stars. I was shocked. So I was like, okay. But I had already ordered the fish and chips, which were not spectacular.
No,
They weren't as good as
they
I
were
had
okay.
hoped. Yeah. But everybody else was like, oh, yeah, my seafood jambalaya that could kill me is delicious.
I love how no one got crab. Like the restaurant has like crab in the title. It's like, we
Gabe, it's not
specialize
that-
in crab.
Blake,
Crab. No
Blake,
crab.
it's not that kind of crab.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's actually called
all right.
it's actually called Crab Avenue. Not
Hey, I'll tell you this. Let's light this candle.
Yeah, let's do it. Blake, do you wanna push the magic button?
Yeah.
Clock in first.
Here we go.
Okay, no, push it.
Here we go.
Welcome. It is Comic Industry Insiders Live. It is Tuesday. You're probably in your shop breaking down boxes. You're probably putting things on shelves. It's 2 p.m. Eastern time. It is 11 a.m. Pacific. And I am not Adam Freeman. I am your other co-host, Brian Garside. And this week we have a really weird show for you. We're back from ComicsPRO, and we have a deuce of a hangover for you. So we are going to, this is pretty accurate. Adam and I feel like we were hit by trucks, and Blake's just having a good old time carrying around a comics magazine. That feels pretty accurate. So this week we're going to do something a little bit differently. We kind of gave Blake the week off, which means he doesn't have to push all the buttons. I'm probably going to stomp over him and accidentally push buttons. And I didn't even have to let him make the slide deck. I went ahead and made like the most professional slide deck possible. And we're going to get right into it right now. And we're going to talk about the rundown. Okay, it may not be the most professional, but it is a slide deck. And sometimes 1 out of 2 ain't bad. So we're a little tired. It's been a rough week. I threw this together at 11 a.m. and there's probably going to be some mistakes. So before we get to that, I want you to check out comicpreviews.com. You can go to getcomicpreviews.com, or you can use your phone on the QR code there and check out our new website. It's going to have massive updates this week. I'm really, really excited about it. We had some really great conversations with publishers and distributors about getting more and even better content on there. But this is my iteration of what I think Previews World from Diamond should have always been. So yeah, check out comicpreviews.com. And also, of course, the Prana Bullet. You need to get on the Prana Bullet and get that email every Friday that tells you all the most amazing things that have happened in the world of comics. Things like our hard-hitting headlines. And instead of just doing this by myself this week, I'm going to bring in a few guests. And yeah, that is the most professional hard-hitting headlines you've ever seen. So I thought instead of just, me yammering at you guys, it's better if we have some co-hosts. So I'm going to bring in, oh my gosh, I am going to bring in a massive surprise first. Literally breaking news. This gentleman just arrived on the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Adam Freeman. Look at you, buddy. You're here.
I honestly wasn't sure I was going to make it. It's, this is going to be one of those days where everything gets juggled until all the balls fall. That's
I love it. We were ready to roll without you, so having you here is just an extra bonus.
Well, that's all right because I'm going to jump out of here early anyway. So I'm glad you're all here. Yeah, I'll just
full disclosure, Adam wrote this headlines graphic. It's spectacular. Well, why don't you and I kind of bust out some of these headlines, and then we'll bring in some guests as we go through, because we've got a really, really good slate of guests, and I'd love to hear their impact, their impressions of things.
Excellent.
All right, how many?
I have absolutely no idea what headlines we're talking about, except for maybe the ones that I wrote up. So there you go. Let's go.
How many brain cells do you think you're working on right now?
Oh, 30% max.
Nice. I think I have 8 total. So, all right, let's get started. So I want to talk about, and this is perfect timing that you arrived here.
Sure.
I want to talk about your keynote, or not keynote, but your speech that kind of kicked off the entire thing.
Yeah.
And this is how you started it. You showed all the parts of your business. Tell the folks a little bit about this slide.
Okay, so Prana Direct Market Solutions got started as just me essentially creating an LLC for doing the consulting that I was going to be doing. And because I started meeting these people and seeing the needs that needed to be done in our industry, the holes that I felt like we could fill, we just started creating little things and attaching them onto this umbrella that I built. Let's go around the room. Prana Bullet, our weekly newsletter where we talk about all the comics, the industry of comics, everything that's happening in it, of all of the new stuff. And we actually post the only top 400 single issue, the bestseller list in the country, which is informed by 600 stores and something like 80,000 consumers. Like, we're really proud of that, and it's growing, and that's going to grow huge this year. Brian and Django and I had a lot of time to talk about that over the week. Comic Industry Insiders, weekly podcast where we talk about we talk to a wide variety of people behind the scenes of the comic book industry. We learn what they know, what you can learn to bring to your business or career in comics. It's an opportunity for me to sit down with these folks that I've known for many, many years and just like really dig in. And we've had some amazing guests, and I hope you all dig deep into that ever lengthening list. Comic Industry Insiders Live is a weekly podcast that I do with this guy who does stuff, and I still don't really know what this thing is. And sometimes it's 60 minutes, and sometimes it's 90 minutes, and most of the time I feel like it probably should just be 30.
It's a tight 60. It's a tight 60 from now on. Today, tight 60.
Prana Publishers is our publishing aggregator that we do for smaller press that maybe have trouble getting distribution, and this kind of sales and marketing that we are able to put together as Prana. This is something that we've been doing now just this past year, and we started off with Source Point Press. Actually, I think we started it off with our friends Tyler Main and Renee Gerlings. Then Source Point Press. Then I think we've got Pesto coming in. We've got American Mythology coming in. We've got a list of people that we are scheduling right now that I'm not going to talk about. But basically, it's our way of giving them access to the catalogs through Lunar Distribution, Universal Distribution, and Diamond UK. And then developing the kind of sales and marketing program that the bigger companies have that most smaller press never really get a chance to. So really proud of that service. Comics the Magazine is a monthly magazine that will be out. It's going to be out a week late for the first one. I'm saying it for the first time out loud right now. I apologize. It was an administrative thing and it happens, but it will be out every month from now on, probably first week of the month, ish, I guess. And we are doing an amazing book. I cannot tell you, every time I hand this to somebody and I see the light in their eyes, I am just filled with pride. It's just doesn't even start. This book, this magazine is spectacular, and it's just only getting better. Yeah.
So many people, online, you hear the haters and they're like, why do you need a magazine in the world of internet? And then you get to the feature story on Absolute Batman, and it's like what, 6 pages? Like and it's like, that's why, because nobody will read 6 pages on the internet, but people will read 6 pages in print, and it's spectacular.
That's the crazy thing about news on the internet, is that they could just have 10,000 words on any given subject with zero cost. But nobody does, because nobody will read it from a screen.
Exactly.
So we're able to dig deep, and I'm really incredibly proud of it. Prana bestseller list. We put together all of the information that we can get while still keeping everyone anonymized from Comic Shop Assistant and Managed Comics. Right now, it's right about 600 stores with, I actually believe it's something like 80,000 consumers. Tens of thousands of transactions. We're really doing, we're doing a lot. Why are we doing so much?
Yeah.
What is we going up with that? I want it noted. I don't know if Gabby has ever been in on this show and ever watched this show, but the fact that she is now commenting, I think goes to the fact that she might miss me because I've been away.
Oh, yeah.
Coming home. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. You've been away way too long. So just so folks know what we're talking about, Adam was supposed to leave on Saturday, right? You were leaving Saturday night.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And then because of all the snows, my flight got pushed, and then I got pushed, and then I've been here since. Yeah, I've been here ever since. It's been. I'm ready to leave tonight. Hopefully, fingers crossed. My flight seems to be going home.
Yeah, so. You guys got nailed. Like I for the first time all year can't complain about snow. Like, we've got barely any right now. I feel so bad. But yeah, all the pictures coming in from like the East Coast is pretty crazy. All of our East Coast friends, like up in Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, are getting
hammered. It's been hard watching video of them trying to figure out how to move all this snow without me. Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to present all those things and talk about them in depth and really kind of dig in, but we only had 7 minutes. So instead of doing that, we put up another slide of videos. I don't know if that's what the next one is, but we put up another slide of videos that we had produced describing all of these things, and they're now all available on our channels and even on that Bleeding Cool article that talked about this. And then with the time that I had left by not talking through all those things, I I led the entire crew in a breathing exercise and a meditation. Right. It was something I was incredibly nervous about, and somebody said they could hear the nerves in my voice. I did too. It killed me whenever I start to talk and I get a little shaky. But it was remarkable. I basically led people through breathing exercises, very basic. You know, if you want to reduce your stress, you exhale longer than you're inhaling. That's how you communicate to your nervous system that the tigers are not trying to eat you.
Yep.
And then I talked about how to focus in on that breath by constricting your nasal cavity so that you can hear the air coming in and out. And then we went through 2 or 3 breaths together, and yeah, it was really kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. I had the entire room, except for one guy, and I don't know what his deal was, but the entire room had their eyes closed, and they were all focusing in on their breath. And wow, it was a remarkable experience for me. And I'm still not sure that from the sales point of view that I got it right, but here we are. I know.
Django and I talked about it, like we talked about it even before, because I let him in on what was going to happen. And both of us say that was the most baller thing you could have done. Like, that made you stand out way head and shoulders above everyone else who droned on about their stuff for 5 minutes. And you said, here's my stuff. I'm going to let it speak for itself. Let's breathe. And what I think the part that I love the most is that I've read online a couple people who've commented on this story and have said, since then, I've done that exercise multiple times. And that's the best.
It really, that was very moving to see that. The idea that people are now going to take this part, make it part of their daily lives in a way that has been so effective for me is, it's wonderful. It does make that worth it. So yeah.
What Django said there, sometimes you see, when you see someone do the simplest marketing thing and you feel stupid because you didn't think of it. Yeah, that was 100% your presentation. Oh. If any of us try it, we're going to be just posers who are trying to do something.
You'll find something. I came to this from an authentic place. That is a very personal thing for me. And you'll find something that is authentically you. I think that is really the key. Also, it should be noted that week is for many people, is their only opportunity to get away from the shop and get away from the sort of everyday wear and tear of that and the stress. They really kind of need a stress release that week. So there's a lot of drinking and a lot of partying and a lot of getting, hanging out with your friends you only see once or twice a year. Somebody referred to ComicsPRO as like church camp, and that's exactly what it feels. It has as a someone who has been to church camp is exactly what it feels like. So a lot of the publishers really use that opportunity to lean in, and they have parties and they have sweet parties and they have buses full of liquor, and it's all about let's get drunk. And I can't afford that right now, but two, it also means that you are not at your best every day. So it's good to know that you can at least get back some of your best even during that. So yeah. I'm proud of it. I am still nervous that I missed an opportunity, but maybe I need that. Maybe I need that stress, that nervousness.
You didn't miss anything, man. I think you did exactly. I'm just gonna speak to an audience of one for a second. Gabby, if you're listening, I was with Adam almost all the time. I never even saw a drink in his hand at all. He was so even. He stopped me a lot of the times. He was just like, Brian, you shouldn't be drinking. You should. So I don't know what he's talking about with this alcohol thing.
Can I? Is there a $5 super chat thing I can throw in?
Oh, if you're nervous, try breathing. So good. Yeah. So good. All right. Let's get back to our previously really professional graphics this week.
Thank you. You know why? Because when Blake is too busy, that means you get the opportunity to show him how to do it right.
Right.
You know
Yeah. Like, obviously.
You get to step in and you got to go, dude, why? Why are you doing the amateur hour all this time? Like, let's show him. Let's.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Did I do this at the bar last night? Maybe. But listen, that's not because I was drinking. It's because I was teaching people to breathe.
Yeah, again, Gabby, I can promise you he was there because it was a quiet environment and he needed to be around. Like, it was nothing to do with alcohol.
All right, let's go back to that.
Okay. Hey, before we get to the keynote, I want to bring in somebody who was there, and I'm not sure how this is going to work because we've never tested his sound equipment because he and I operate on different time zones, and he thought that I was talking about an hour from now. Shannon Merritt is a retailer in Memphis, Tennessee. He runs 901 Comics and 901 Games and 901 Coffee Bar and 901, like literally like 95 different businesses there. But Shannon, how you doing? Oh, we can't hear you, Shannon.
Yeah, you're on mute.
You're going to need to unmute your mic.
You got a little mute icon there, buddy.
Oh, you're still muted, buddy.
Oh, boy.
This is usually
How about this?
There we go. There you are.
Right.
Yes.
I thought I unmuted it. I apologize.
No worries. So Shannon was he was there as a retailer. This is your second year, right? At ComicsPRO?
It is my second year, 100%. Yeah, we went last year to Burbank. We went to the NYCC event.
New York Comic Con, yeah.
So did that last year, and then also did it. Well, 2024 went to that, and then went to Glendale last year, and then went to NYCC again this year, and then this year. So yeah, twice at the big one, and I guess you would call it the baby one at NYCC.
So yeah, we you have an interesting perspective because I mean the rest of us I don't think got to see retailer roundtables, and we didn't get to see a lot of the keynotes. We many of us were wearing the scarlet lanyard of don't go into certain places. Some of us just didn't wear our lanyards because they didn't like the fact that they weren't allowed to get in places with their lanyards. Not me. Like not it was other people that I saw doing that. But yeah, what did you? Well, let's talk about Kirkman's presentation first of all, because Robert Kirkman did the keynote. What did you kind of take away from that?
Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. I let Joseph handle that for me.
Okay, so what did you
doing other things?
Sorry. I had to drop you off. So you missed the keynote.
I missed the keynote because I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something else that had to be done. And then, but I let Joseph hang out for that. I'm so sorry I can't add anything.
That's okay. That's okay. You know who can? Django and I were in a hotel next door, and we did because we were both wearing the red scarlet lanyards. Didn't let you look. So we watched the keynote from across. What did you take away from the Kirkman keynote?
Just that Robert Kirkman is responsible for a lot of us selling a lot of comics.
It's true. Very true.
Smart guy with good ideas. And also about a half hour before the big announcement, I almost texted Jeff and said, it's going to be Mask.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be Mask. And I'm so stoked. What I'm really hoping is that when they cross the Mask guys over with the G.I. Joe guys, that all the Mask guys are about just a little bit shorter. Right, like they were in the action figures. I want smaller cars. I want smaller dudes.
Out of scale. Oh, that's too good. Yeah, he kind of went off the cuff because he said that he wasn't going to prepare anything, and then he prepared things, and then I almost feel like it was detrimental to have prepared because he went through his notes and was kind of confused by his own writing a couple times. But overall.
Do you mind if I'm going to bring, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this one, but I do want to bring Joe Keating to the stage. Joe worked with Robert. He knows Robert well and that team. And I know that he had some thoughts on that keynote. I'd love to hear them.
I mean, I was not going to miss it. Robert always puts on a good show. He's always got something to say. He always gives me a lot to think about. Like I feel like just leaving a conversation with him, much less a keynote with him, like it really gets you what stuff whether it was like not related to what he was talking about directly or like how we approach this or like what the market's going to be. I was left very bullish, not just about Skybound, which I'm always pretty bullish about, but just like where comics are going in general. There was a lot of stuff that I clocked, like the comics to animation pipeline he talked about. Like, Robert, you're already working on so much, buddy. I got detect something's going on, but I don't know anything. That's just, I know the guy doesn't waste stage time. The books he announced were cool. Mask is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Hasbro. But that book Terminal he's doing with Joe Casey and like Andy Kubert, right? And Art Adams and Jay Finch, like that's going to be a banger, So it was just like, it was cool because it wasn't just, hey, buy my stuff, but it was like, here's why I care about comics. And I grew up loving Transformers, and now I'm doing the Transformers thing, and let's all make new stuff and new spins on old stuff. And I don't know, I thought that was. I disagree with him on Batman. I'm a big Batman fan. I don't know.
That is a bang-on impersonation, though. Like that sounded.
Worked with Robert for a while.
That was amazing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny too because he brought up something that we heard from a number of publishers, which is like, if you're going to buy one, buy two. If you're going to
buy a couple more,
try a couple more, which I loved. But my counter back to them would be, if you're going to print one, maybe print two. Maybe make it easy for me to reorder. I don't know. Maybe. I'll share if you'll share. Yeah, it's and I know that it's bigger than that. Like, they've got warehouse issues to deal with and things like that. But still, if we could share in that burden,
I'm really biased here. Like I said, I love Skybound. I love the people there, not just Robert, but like Sean Makowitz and Arun and Alex Antone and Blake there, other Blake. It's a great team of people. So I know they really go above me on. Yeah, it was exciting.
No, yeah, and I'm not picking on them. Like every publisher kind of had the same idea, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I think that sounds great. So that was fun. What else did we do? Oh, and so Django, I think you and I were stuck in a meeting when The Dark Knight returned.
Oh, dude, that was nuts. I did not have a meeting. I made sure to make sure not to block out that period of time. Are you talking about the panel they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, so folks, they just had Frank Miller and Klaus Janson on a panel for like 40 minutes.
NBD. Frank Miller and
super excited about that. That was huge for me. I mean, they weren't really. I guess they were trying to push the 40th anniversary of Dark Knight Returns, but not really trying to sell anything. And I really liked the fact that it was a Q&A session, and they showed me things about the Dark Knight Returns that I didn't even know, and I've been reading that. I've read that thing 30 times at least. So it was a really cool experience. Of course, I'm a huge Frank Miller and Klaus Janson fan anyway. That was an amazing experience for me.
Frank Miller and
it was
Klaus
cool too
Janson, they haven't really been together for quite a while, right? Like I thought they had a fairly significant falling out at one point.
I can't hear anybody.
Not that I'm aware of, Brian.
Oh, okay. Because there was just a couple news stories I read just made a big deal about the fact that they were in the room for the first time in a long, long time. So I wasn't sure if it was just the first time in a long time because they just
well, I mean, I'll just back up what Shannon was saying. I own Dark Knight Returns probably 9 different editions, and once they do more for the 40th, I'll own it in 10, 11, 12.
Yeah,
but there was stuff they were talking about in terms of like the process they worked in. Like there's a cab driver who infamously looks like Walt Simonson in the book. And there was a lot of debate between Frank and Klaus, like whose fault that was, and stuff like that. And but to see guys who created one of the most important works of fiction of the 20th century, like pal around and like talk about this, like just the process and the struggle with it and then creating it I mean, like I was saying with the Skybound thing, I was left just fired up. I mean, I'm still on a high over that conversation. So I hope it's online.
That's the one that I'm saddest I miss. And I know Django was like, we got to get up to this panel. And then we were in really great meetings.
Bad scheduling by
I was in a great meeting and I was like, I have to go. Frank Miller and Klaus Janson are next door. Goodbye. I have to leave now.
You're just better at comics than we are, which is
I really am. I really am. I love them.
That's
It
awesome.
was nice to meet you, Ghost of Stan Lee, but I got to go see these guys.
Okay, I had to put myself in to tell this story, right? There's two stories, really three. But so we find out that Frank and Klaus are coming, right? And we found out Thursday that it was definitely happening because it was kind of a, are they just going to announce it or are they actually going to be here kind of thing? And when they announced it, it was like, okay, great. Then Friday morning, I get a message, hey, Jim's coming. And I go, Jim who? And they're like,
there's only one
Lee.
Jim.
Well,
Somebody
no,
says
like,
Jim. There's only one.
well, because they were telling me that
Yeah.
some guy named Larry was doing the panel and that Matt was going to have the slides and like, okay, great. So like, for all I know, Jim is just some guy they're bringing in to like interview them, right?
Right.
So like, and they're like, Lee, I'm like, oh, okay. So they get to the show and they hide him in this green room because they would have gotten mobbed by us if they hadn't. And so Marco comes, and you know Marco, he's very even keeled, he's very and he's just okay. So we're gonna, and he's like, it's like he's mainline Monster Energy at this point.
Right.
And we're gonna bring him down the back hallway, and they're gonna hide behind the door, and then Jim's gonna come out. I'm like, okay, no problem, dude. But like, we were running a little late, and so like, there's Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, Jim Lee, and their army of assistants in like the service hallway backstage. And I'm like, I'm trying to unstack chairs so Frank's got someplace to sit. And they come in and they do the panel, and it's great. But every 2 seconds, one of the assistants was asking me to make a change to like the way it sounded, the way the cameras look. It's like, you're an assistant. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And then we get to the end, and Baby Blake is so excited to show Jim Lee Comics the magazine. He almost tackles me coming around the table to give Jim Comics the magazine. I go, bro, he does not need Comics the magazine while he's just gotten off stage presenting Frank Miller and Klaus Janson. Like, and Blake's, you could see in Blake's eyes, like, he had blacked out. He was so starstruck, so into it. He had absolutely blacked out. And it was maybe the highlight of my show was like that moment for Blake.
Yeah.
But after that, the highlight of my show was like this.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And finding out what it's selling for.
Yeah.
What's it selling for?
That's a $500 comic right there.
Keep going.
Really? It's still going
This
up?
is buy me a new MacBook level right now.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, Django and I
these
were
are
in a
selling
really
for-
important meeting, though. Like, it was a
Right.
really...
So they're selling for $2,000.
Holy cow.
How awesome is that picture, though?
Come on,
Right.
Jim, like Blake, that's why Blake does our socials. Good job, Blake.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Right.
That is
No,
my
I- that was
favorite.
Some guy named Larry, by the way, is Larry Gannum, who's been the talent director at DC for like decades. Like,
Right.
like it's a big deal.
No, he was. But like,
And he did a
this
killer
was
job,
like-
by the way.
But they didn't put his last name in the note. It was just Larry.
Oh. All
So
right.
like, for all I know, it's like, you know, Larry from down the street or something. If they'd have put that,
No,
would've
it
been
wasn't
a much
Lamb
bigger
Street.
deal
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, it was a huge deal. Huge deal. I got to
Yeah,
say,
no,
too,
it
the
was-
staff at DC really came out. They,
Mhm.
we had a lot of good talks with them.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
exciting stuff brewing.
That whole thing was like last year when it was Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Like, I knew that was coming, so I was able to mentally prepare my heart so that it didn't like start to have a coronary. And I
Yeah.
knew it was Frank and Klaus, so I was able to do that. And then Jim Lee shows up like, okay, all right, do not stroke out, do not stroke out, do not stroke out. So it was a really great panel. It was a really good time.
Well,
And
it
again,
really was. Kyle, I'm going to jump in here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need to get a bit more here, and then we got to go in and out. One of the things I want to say, though, is about the support that DC gave to this event that I think is the most remarkable thing. Like, they legitimately brought in some incredible talent that is so incredibly expensive, right?
Yeah.
You talk about Frank and Klaus and their significant others and their team, right? And that all of them are flown in from New York All of them are being put up at, I mean, they're probably not staying at the Embassy Suites, I'm guessing, you know? So like this is a huge expense for them for this event. Like they didn't fly in and just stick around for several days of meetings. They flew in the day before, did the event, then flew home. Like that's wild. DC's support of this event, DC's support of the direct market, I think is probably the biggest story that came out of all of this, right? So
100%.
Yeah. But again, for them to be able to put that
Kyle,
look on Blake's face.
Kyle, I really want to move on to the next thing, and we can move on to the rest of the show. Okay, thanks, guys.
Everybody's pushing the same button. Yeah. So our feature story was supposed to become ComicsPRO. We kind of got
did it already.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Yeah, but I was. I think Shannon disappeared on us.
Yeah, he couldn't hear.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, because I was going to have, Joe and Gabe get them on here. We've got some great insights from Blake here who can kind of fill in some of the color. We've got Django. Look at all those things that you do, Django. Look at all those things you do. It's ridiculous.
Sticky note, buddy.
I almost did need a second one. So yeah, let's chat some of the big things that came out of there. Like there was obviously DC had a massive announcement about the Absolute line. They announced the Absolute Green Arrow, the Absolute Catwoman, and I think they made an announcement about a potential Absolute crossover later this year. That was huge. We had Todd McFarlane just show up and do a massive signing. That was amazing. Tons and tons of people came around and got signatures. My favorite part of that whole story, though, was that there was one enterprising retailer who had gone to a bunch of different stores and bought a stack of King Spawn number 50s and then just went down the line and was like, who needs to get, and he was just making bank. Like
$10.
Pockets were full of money from that. It was my favorite thing. That was really fun. What were your kind of highlights of the show? Let's start. Blake, I'm going to leave you for last because I think yours are going to be the best. Let's start with Gabe. Gabe, highlights of the show.
Blake. That was the highlight of my show. And I say it, sort of tongue in cheek, but sort of not.
Nope. Yeah.
To see a show like this that I've been to, so many times, 7 or 8 times, through new, for lack of a better term, virginal eyes, and feeling that joy that I felt over and over and over again, watching his joy was really fantastic, and I was really pleased that he got the opportunity to be there and have so much fun and kind of be living his best life, for lack of a better term. Beyond that, in a more strictly personal sense, well, I guess it's personal and professional, but as much as you don't want the twain to meet, sometimes it can't help but to this, right? The reaction to that there behind my head was overwhelming. Seems far too weak a word to describe the feelings coming out of the event. Retailers have reacted in a way that I couldn't possibly have expected. With only 1 or 2 exceptions, every interaction that I had all weekend long was, we're so excited. We can't wait to give this to our customers. Thank you for doing this. Like, it feels so needed and so exciting to be a small part of what makes this work. So the next step obviously is getting it in consumers' hands and finding out what they believe and what they think. But for right now, I am absolutely on cloud 9. And I couldn't feel much better. I think Adam at one point said, this must be what being a rock star feels like, because you're kind of like walking through and everybody's like, hey, all right, the magazine's awesome. Let's go. Yeah. And it's just like, all right, we're just doing what we think is cool. And, as a guy who, and I made this joke several times over the weekend, as a guy who's never been part of a successful comic book company, this is friggin' awesome.
Yeah. Joe,
Yeah.
Joe, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, that was overwhelmingly. I mean, I concur with everything he said. Adam and I were making the joke of like, it's the first time I've been part of something where someone like everyone over and over again was saying like, we really needed this. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's a cool, different, new feeling. Yeah, and people, it wasn't even just us though, because like people were really. I mean, I was saying this earlier, I think in the pre-show, but like people were ready to have fun with comics again, and just like, let's just make cool stuff and enjoy. And again, like. I'll say this very biased. Friend of the magazine, dear friend of mine, Rob Guillory, announced he's doing a multi-book deal at Ignition Press. And his first book, Innards, they did like a 0 issue. It looks sick. It looks awesome. It's like sci-fi. I mean, I'm gonna not be able to sell it great in the moment, but it's just like it's pure comics.
That's
you
awesome.
know. And I was talking to like the guys from American Caper. The Dark Horse book with Dan Hauser and Laszlo and Chris Anderson can run the magazine. And again, like they were talking about some of their plans and it was just exciting, you know? And again, of course, Kirkman's stuff. I had a great conversation with Tucker Stones from Fantagraphics, like a very different end of things. And like, I just left that conversation just on a total high. Like he's a great dude. But even just like what they got cooking, like it's just all over, you know? And it felt great to be in a position where now like we can like help people help themselves, like and help with what they're working on. Like IDW's got this crime line coming out. I'm really excited about it, and was able to talk to one of the editors of that. Like, what do we need? Let's do it. You know, let's
That's awesome.
make it happen. So yeah, it was awesome. It was just a great vibe.
I want to come back to you at the end because I'd like to talk a little bit about kind of the magical thing that happened at the Comics the Magazine little party that we threw. And,
oh, sure.
And like that was one of those moments that I've experienced one other time that was pretty special. So we'll talk about that kind of at the end here. But Django, talk to me. What
it's
was
just
your
all the people, man?
Yeah.
Like working like you and I do in our basements, typing words and code into a computer, and then like you go to your shipping warehouse, and I go to the comic store, and it's all fun, but it's really like isolated. Even in our shop, we've got tons of customers, tons of staff, but it's still like it's very own ecosystem. And so to go to one of these things and see all the people who have encountered the same problems as you and solved it in totally novel ways, it's just super inspiring. You know, like, and I'm new to the industry part of this, and so just hearing people tell stories about what actually happened behind the scenes, that's always my favorite part. And I have to, you know, I always have to kind of double check myself before I tell a story to somebody, because I have to make sure that I'm not going to spill the beans on something. But I love knowing that process stuff, and you know, like this fell apart because of that, but everybody said it was this other thing. You know, just those conversations are so much fun and so enlightening to me.
Yeah. Adam, you have been to all but one Comics Pro. I think it was like 2024 was the only one that you've never been to.
I think so, yeah.
Was this, by and large, was this similar, different feeling? Was it like how did it present to you? How did it feel for you?
You know, this one was unique. I would say last year we had a certain level of optimism that felt more like, you know, faith or hope that things were going to get better. This year, people are trying to figure out how to, like last year, I would say that one of the most prominent conversations I heard was about people getting out of the business. Right? How they sell to their younger members of their staff. How do they give it to their kids? How do they, you know, what do they do? And this year, what I heard was just unrelenting optimism. I mean, the people are so ready. Nobody knows where the ceiling is right now, right? And I think that tone carried throughout all the conversations that we had. And people are looking to build, right? Mm-hmm. They're looking to build infrastructure for what's next. Mm-hmm. They're interested in the idea of creating that. This is stuff that I and we as Prana as a team have spent our last 5 years building these kinds of things. But suddenly it was they're in rooms where I would normally say, hey, I think we need to build this so that we can be ready for what's next. People went, Now they really lean in on that conversation. So, so that was it. And as I don't remember who was it. I think maybe Gabe said something about me feeling like a rock star. Like, I will say that this was the first one of these shows where I did feel that sort of the kind of effect of showing up every week, what that actually gets you. And that got me was a community of people that were ready to lean in. I personally, it was remarkable to me to hear from, I don't know, I think all in it was like 6 or 7 people who said that they listened to some form of our content every day. And some of them had really wonderful insights and even emotional responses. And it was so emotionally overwhelming to hear that the thing that we kind of throw out into the void every week, was making that kind of impact in people's lives. So that was, all in. I don't know. I'm a little full. It was
behind the scenes. We see a number every time that we do this, and that number is small but consistent. We always know it's the same number. The number of people that came to talk to me and say, "Hey, I watch the show every week," is like 20x the number that is on that screen at any given time. Yeah. It was alarming how many people had this parasocial relationship with me that I'm not used to.
And when you start to tell stories and then people finish them for you and you've never met them before,
yeah,
it's a little disconcerting. So yeah, I mean, in this particular instance, we did what we set out to do. We created content, we created tools for a niche set of people who have a very specific needs that nobody else was fulfilling those needs, and it's working and it's showing up. And I say this to all of you, to do the thing that that is only going to help a handful of people, because it will change their lives. And that's really, at the end of the day, what all of this is about. It's just being able to impact other people's lives and make them that much better.
Yeah. So, people are always worried about hitting a massive audience, but I've always said, and you and I have both said this, that you don't have to hit the biggest audience. You have to hit the right audience. And
exactly.
This weekend just proved to me that
aggregation is better than scale.
100%.
Right.
It's also easier, honestly. Like dealing with 10,000 people is way harder than dealing with 100 people that are the right people. Yeah. Blake, I cannot wait to hear your take on this.
It was like, okay. I compared it to when we got Bruce, the first year we got Bruce, his first gotcha day. Like I made him a doggy carrot cake.
Bruce is your dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this guy we found on the street. But like, so we gave him this cake, and he got to eat the cake, and almost like every hour we gave him like a new toy or like a bully stick, and almost like halfway through the day we were trying to make this special thing for him, and you'd give him something and he would like start crying. He was like overloaded with emotion and stuff, right? That's like how I was. It was like all these great things happening like all at once, and then like my body and mind almost didn't like know what to do with it, which was why I was just like a new, like rescuing a new puppy. Yes. But I mean, it was so continuous, and it's still kind of hitting me. But yeah, like knowing that we're onto something, like that was cool. Yeah. People have heard of us. People have heard of me. Like people knew me from this show, not just Blake's Buzz. Like, oh, you like I see you on Comic Industry Insiders, and then like retailers telling me that Blake's Buzz is cool when all I do really is talk about Kickstarters. Like that's awesome. Like a few people watched that Kickstarter video we made. A lot of people are watching this and they're liking what we're doing, and it felt like the same amount, if not more, when the magazine started appearing around the expo. It's for people that don't know what this is, for like regular comic book people, it's like a little small town convention full of industry, like full of our rock stars. Yeah. And there's like 500 people there. Yeah. Right. So like it's so close knit. You're gonna run into everybody, and you'll have the opportunity to run backstage and run around a ballroom and try not to tackle Jim Lee as you fly through 2 doors with a comics magazine in your hand. And like I know he saw me and he was like, because I didn't realize he was so short, right? I knew he was like and so like
I thought the same thing at a couple points
Blake.
during the thing.
so I bull in a china shop like out of these two doors of like the backstage area, and they're coming out of the green room, and I was like, Jim, can I get a selfie? I was like, oh, don't yell at him, Blake. You know, I'm like having conversations with myself.
Speaking of new puppies, everybody.
Yeah, I was also a new puppy. And so I gave him, you know, he was like, oh yeah, let's do a selfie. And so we did a selfie, and then I was like, oh, have you seen Comics Magazine? And it was like the reactions to people, like there were so many people around. He had just like introduced the Frank Miller panel, right? Like, you know, he's got a lot of emotion going through him as well, right? And there's a giant bearded man standing over him, just like, hey Jim, whoa! And it's just like that stopped him. He stopped in the middle of the floor and he flipped through that magazine. When I totally interrupted an Oni roundtable twice by letting be like, because Matt Kent mentioned comics, like I was like, oh, I could get you a copy, and Matt was like, really? And I was like, yeah, dude. And then I came back and gave out copies of Comics Magazine to the Oni table, and the Oni guy took my camera and took a picture with all of us. Like they were all stoked.
That's cool.
Later, Matt has people around him, like they're sitting on a bench in the hallway between round tables, and they're flipping through the magazine. They're pointing at stuff. They're looking at it. I bumped into James Tinian in the hotel bar, also chasing after him, thinking I lost him because I caught him right before his panel, and I knew he was about to go on, so I didn't want to like be like, ah, you know. So I waited and then found him just bump into him in the hotel lobby. He knew exactly what it was when he saw it. He was stoked, and like, you know, so the industry is excited for it. The people are excited for it. People are like, I've gotten messages. People want to interview me about this convention because apparently like Skybound. I took over the Skybound roundtable accidentally because they were like asking about people's comics experience, and I was like, oh my god, it's my first time and it's amazing. And then I was like, I got flown out here. I didn't pay for anything, and it was just like,
people were like, that can happen.
The Skybound rep was like, I think you're winning ComicsPRO. I was like, me too. So I'm really sorry for anybody that sat at a round table with me.
Oh god.
I made this week's thumbnail at 35,000 feet, and I desperately wanted a picture of Blake with the largest smile on the planet, because like that's all we saw all week of Blake was just the biggest smile. This is as close as I could get, but I feel like this is pretty accurate of the three of us. Dead, and what's going on here, fellas? What's happening?
Oh, and I also cried in Mark London's arms, so that was cool too. But
I didn't get a chance to meet Mark. I still want to. Mark, London, if you're out there, I still want to meet you. So
he and Mad Cave like were very, very supportive and there for me, like Blake's Buzz days, like early on, like gave me a lot of shots and stuff, and yeah, I just, you know, and I've loved Mark as a creator too, but like the stuff he does there. But yeah, like I gave him a big hug and we were talking. I turn into Jason telling this story, like when Jason. Oh my God, that was another highlight. Everybody talks about how excited Blake was. You see how excited Rekka's Jason Blanchard was, who got me like Joe Keating. I work with you and talk to you like every day almost, and like you get me hyped about comics too. All you guys do, but. Dude, Jason like lit something underneath me, right? Like there was just so much just passion and goodness, and we throw this word around a lot, enthusiasm, which is the vibe we're very much that Joe's working so hard to like, you know, put into every page of Comics and Magazine, and with Adam and Gabe and everybody, right? But it's just like we're rallying around enthusiasm in comics, not nasty hot takes, not mean stuff, not I don't like this, it's support, it's enthusiasm, and it's love, and it was just
that's it.
I'm gonna
right
live
there
on this for like all year.
Right there. I don't want to interrupt you, but that was palpable, and it's not just us. It's not just the magazine. People are just ready to love comics again. Cynicism's out the door. No one cares. You know, like your angry hot take. No one cares. But just to love, like. Here's a little Robert Kirkman story. When he was just coming up with money, he would be like, I just bought this Transformers model thing or whatever, like some like old toy. Like he was spending his money on that. 10 years before he ever did Hasbro. He's doing the Hasbro stuff because he loves it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Energon popped off so hard, because it's not just some cynical cash grab. It's like, this is all, Transformers is awesome, G.I. Joe is awesome, Mask now is awesome, so let's make it cool. You know, he like gets it. And again, it's not just Skybound, it's not just DC, it's just like, it was the vibe. So anyway, Blake, I'm really happy you were there, buddy. I was really grateful.
Yeah.
I named a lot of people, but I was very happy you were there.
Thank you. It was so cool to meet. You know, the work we do is weird, right? And we get to know each other, but we talk through screens all the time, you know. And it's just getting to see every, like the first thing when Adam shot, I gave Adam like a big old hug. Like I'm so glad none of us are sick, because I was like, I gave everybody hugs. Like I'm a hugger, you know. And it's just like I just get, you know, laughing and talking comics at breakfast that first day with you guys. Like, like this shit all carry forever, and also shit. I hope we get more experience of this, right? Like I hope we're tabling at San Diego soon, and I hope it's like we have to bring the whole team out, because I don't know how we control this monster without everybody on site. Because honestly, like that's where I feel like we're going. Like I feel big time. I feel big time and proud, and it's, you know, like everybody. You guys kept reminding me of like, hey, you know, you're in the room. And you deserve to be in the room. I heard that a lot.
You do.
You know what? I woke up this week and I'm in the fucking room and I feel like it.
God damn right.
You know, like,
God damn
100%,
right.
brother. 100%.
Dude, you were the hardest working person in that building this week. So you 100% deserve.
I have 100 photos to edit of the auction. I've got a handful of video, and I want to, right? I'm excited to content, but yeah. And so on top of like all the Prana content we have to produce this week too, I have to side edit ComicsPRO which is, you know, it's good.
You got this, baby.
We got cool footage on the show.
I'm gonna tell a real quick story, and then I know Adam's got to get out of here, so we'll do the cohort, and then if everybody else except for you.
I apologize. Can I tell a quick story? So
I
really do have to go.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I know this is your show to run.
Yeah, whatever. You know, it's just my show. Whatever. Not even hurt. Whatever.
All right, I'm going to get real mystical here for a second. In The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho talks about everyone having a personal legend, right? A path that you're supposed to be taking. And along that path, you get certain omens. I've started thinking of them as like trail markers that happen, you know, when you're hiking, to say that you follow that particular blaze and you will get to where you're trying to go. This week, and honestly a lot lately, we have seen a lot of these omens. Joe can attest to this. There were some that were just kind of creepy. As we were going along, there were just reminders of this. One of my favorites was yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know. They all blend together. 2 days ago, we went to the Kirby exhibit at the Skirball, and we happened to run into what is somebody pronounce her name? Torin.
Oh, yeah, Torin. Yeah.
Writer for DC and Marvel. And she was there with Brian K. Vaughan. Brian K. Vaughan is notable because he did Why the Last Man, which is what inspired Jason Blanchard to make comics to begin with, and it was a direct inspiration for him calling the shot and saying we're going to do 60 issues because that's what Why the Last Man did. And so we got a chance to like chat with him, show him the magazine, talk about it. And again, he was another one of those people who said, "Oh, thank God, we need this." Right? And we just kept hearing that. But anyway, so these it's things like that, like bumping into the inspiration for Jason, and Jason, who arguably there is no Comics and Magazine without Jason. There is,
100%,
right? And it was just these omens kind of lining up that made this particular week. If I had any doubts that we were on the right path, this week would have taken care of all of them, because there was absolutely no. There was no doubt at the end of it. Like everything made certain that we are what we're building here, that what the people on this screen are building, what we're building with the podcast, what we're building with the magazine, what we're building with the services that we do for the publishers, all of it is working because it is our legend, right? It's our personal legend. So anyway, I found it to be an incredibly moving week, and I want to say thank you guys for running the show without me. I'm looking forward to getting back to it, and I have to go pack and get out of here because I have to check out in 4 minutes.
Okay, you have to hear. I will take 1 minute of your time, and then you can get out of here. Okay, so I've been involved in comics in some way since I was like 7 years old, and I've read them, loved them my entire life. Okay.
I haven't made Brian cry yet.
I've never been on the masthead of anything related with comics. And when I opened that magazine up, oh Jesus. Anyway, you don't know how much it meant to me.
You got 30 seconds
These
left.
are happy. These are happy tears, not sad. But yeah, it was something I didn't know I needed until I saw it. So thank you.
Thanks for the website.
That's awesome, Brian.
Oh, okay. Okay, now Adam, go away and I'll tell the funny story. But yeah, I do want to thank you, man. It means a lot.
That's
You mean a lot.
There you go. There, that's
Let's
everybody.
go.
That's everybody on the screen.
I didn't think that was going to
last in
happen.
the comments. Would be good. All right, love y'all.
See you, buddy.
Love you, man.
Everybody.
Travel safe, dude.
Okay, now the cool story is just like there's long been a talk about the graying of the comics industry, right? Like you look around a room and it's all gray beards and it's all gray hairs, and like I'm the young guy in a lot of these rooms, and I'm 55. And this is the first weekend where I like looked around that room and there were more young people than there were old people.
Yeah.
And that is transformative for our industry. And I think it speaks to like one of the reasons the industry is changing so much and, so exciting right now is because we have this new influx of not just fans, but it's like people that want to make this their life. Like people, significantly younger than us who, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
There's a guy who I want to shout out specifically, and Shannon, if you're still watching, I said this to your face too, but you have, and for the life of me, I can't remember his first name. Maybe one of you do.
Joseph.
You have this 22-year-old kid that's running, that was there with you at ComicsPRO, and we had a conversation, and I have had conversations with 22-year-olds before, but never so impressed with one. Like, and that's not to dismiss 22-year-olds. It's to say he's so wise beyond his years. Like, it's such an incredible hire. And it's just indicative of the kind of energy that's in this, I don't know if that's technically Gen Z or Gen Alpha, but like if this is the next generation of comic book store owners and people that are stewards for our industry, we are in perfect condition.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing Adam keeps saying about the magazine in general, but also just everything, and I think this goes for comics, like it's ours to lose. Like, everything is set up not just for what we do together separately, but like the industry right now. Like we're in such a good spot, and there's been decades of lessons. You can look at the 80s, you can look at the 90s, you can see what didn't work out, and you can see when people start gatekeeping, when people start being jerks, and seeing how that doesn't work out. So it's ours to lose.
Yeah.
So if we handle it like a bunch of cool folks and not be huge jerks about it, I think there's potential for. And people are like, "Are we ever going to get the 90s again?" Like, I hope not. I hope it's better.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, it was that was super, super inspiring. My funny story, and I think I don't know how many of you have told this, but Billy Flake, who's one of the principals at Coliseum of Comics, was outside just talking to a dude. And, it was beautiful, sunny, and I was out there, and Billy goes, "Hey, come here for a sec." So I come over, and he goes, "Hey, Brian, I want you to meet Ed. I got to run to a panel." And Ed starts talking to me, and it didn't clock at first. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to see a preview of Criminal?" And I'm like, "Is this Ed Brubaker?" And he shows me a 20-minute like preview of criminal, and we just talk for an hour and a half. And I look at my watch at one point and go, oh, I think I missed a panel. And he's like, oh, you missed a panel? Oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be on it. I think technically I was a co-host. And he's like, oh, you should run to it. And I'm like, I think it ended an hour ago, Ed. We'd been talking for an hour and a half, and my panel was like 12 till 12:30. Yeah. So sorry, Adam.
I get starstruck by retailers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's so weird to be like, oh yeah, here's all these amazing people who I've read their comics and love their comics, and all I want to do is talk to this one person who inspired me as with their shelf layout.
Yeah.
You know, like it's ridiculous. And I love the rest of it too, but like that's where the real inspiration comes from for me.
That, like, usually that's my favorite part about going to one of these things, because Django and I tend to just like grab a car and drive to a bunch of shops. Like in Chicago, I think we did 16 shops.
Oh, well.
In LA last year, I think we only made it to like 3 because LA is so darn spread out, and we were out on the road for like 6.5 hours. But yeah, I didn't get to any stores this year, and it sucks. I went to like a place called Blast from the Past that doesn't really sell comics. But yeah, I didn't make it to anywhere really cool. And that
You went to Revenge of?
Yeah.
True. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. And Revenge of is awesome.
That
Revenge
place
is
was
incredible.
nuts.
Yeah, and I gotta say,
freaked
like,
out.
I've only been there for events, but they're always popping off like that. And there's always a bunch of cool stuff. They're always unique. I will say I did make it there. I made it to Golden Apple yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Joe, the manager there, good guy. Hey, Joe. And scoured their back issue bins. Bought a hat. So anyway, did make it out a little bit.
Nice.
I bought an inappropriate shirt at Revenge
Oh
of.
my God, your shirt was amazing.
They had this cool like barbarian shirt, and I asked him, I was like, "Do you guys have any bigger sizes?" Because there was a sign that was like, "If you need a bigger size, ask." And the girl that was working there, she got really excited. She was like, "We have a not safe for work version. Do you want that?" I was like, "I feel like I need it now. Like you sold it." And so when I went up to the counter to like, I bought this shirt with dicks on it and a giant cookie. That's like all I bought at this store. They were like, "Where'd you find this?" they told us I guess they were told to like hide those shirts for the event
For the party.
for the Radiant Black party.
Oh,
And I was
that's
like,
too
"Oh,
funny.
someone went in the back and gave it to me." And they were like, "Oh, cool. We thought they were just out. We were gonna get in trouble." I was like, "No, is this okay? Can I buy it? Is it okay?" Anyway,
That's
yeah, no, it was
amazing.
a
That
really
rules.
really cool shop.
Yeah, that's a great store. Okay, well, I think maybe we should like wrap up some of the things that we're supposed to do on this show before Adam gets me in trouble for not, finishing the show. So every week we do a Blake. Can you talk about this a little bit? I suck at this part.
So every week we do the basically this is what we're kind of spitting out of the Prana bestseller list. We through some of these actually saw a couple of these gentlemen on the show right now. We have accumulated, or I guess we call it aggregated data from as you can see here, 500 plus stores in various markets, over 60,000 consumers. The data is anonymized and distributed, so we can't use it for nefarious purposes. We can only use it to see what awesome comics are being bought and sold throughout the week, and that's what we're going to show you right here.
So for the week of February 16th to the 23rd, we see that Marvel was dominant. DC was a close second. Image down there. I mean, any surprises in any of these for you guys? I'm trying to think of what came out that week.
It's like DC leads on the straightaways, and Marvel is able to catch up when they have to turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that week is the week of Ultimate Spider-Man 24, which is the final Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember a couple other books. I didn't do the polls that week, so I'm
It's here
really
I got
off.
it. So Absolute Batman was the top. Absolute Batman 17 was the top seller, but yeah, okay. So Ultimate Spider-Man 24 came out, so that came in number 2. There was an Amazing Spider-Man title.
That makes sense.
A Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon number 1. So there's a heavy Marvel week. X-Men 25, Fantastic Four, Captain America, Uncanny X-Men. So yeah, it was a big, and then we see that like when the when there's an absolute, like a heavy absolute week, or even one or two absolute issues, honestly, like that's usually when DC flies off the rails. So yeah, them and Marvel have a good back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. And what's interesting about the sales charts, of course, is that like that doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't going to get those Batmans over the next 3-4 weeks, which is with Absolute Batman, it tends to be like a little bit of a longer tail. We'll see it come up again and again and again. But yeah, the new releases for Marvel really rocked the boat this week. So yeah, it was a good week for everyone. And of course, these numbers and everything else are available in the Prawn Bullet every week. You get all access to 400. And every time I say that, I get a little bit mad at Adam that he's giving that away for free. 400 of the best-selling titles every single week. And all you have to do is use your phone to get a QR code or go to pranadm.com. And sign up for the
sales boy in me also cringes a little bit.
Right?
Can I say something though to the non-number people out there?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What's cool about this top 400 list is it gives you a really cool bird's eye view of like what's hot.
Mm-hmm.
You can go all the way through it and get real deep into it, or you can look at the top 25. You can look at the top 10. You know, I say this to all my friends and they laugh at me. The more work I get in comics, the harder it is to stay up to date with what is coming out on a regular basis, right? Because we would all not have jobs if a ton of comics didn't come out every week. And so it's a really cool bird's eye view of some cool books to check out, what's selling. If you do YouTube shows like I do or a podcast, and you know, it's really good info to have, and it's real easy to riff off the data that we give you every week for free. So like use the link we just dropped in the comments and sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Blake, I'm going to give you this slide because I can't do it justice.
Okay. Oh my God! Negative Bird is still live! You can still go there and back it! And did you know? No, you didn't know, because it keeps happening randomly. Joe Pruitt is sitting on piles of just art he just finds it. He's got a historical backlog of gorgeous original pieces, and he keeps dropping them on the Zoom campaign page. Oh my God! All you gotta do is go there. You go there, get awesome art, get awesome books from awesome creators and retailers. Our wonderful retailer friends. We love you. Zoop loves you. Joe loves you. We'll work with you if you want to put in a larger order. We'll work with your shop. So get on over to the campaign page and support indie comics. Because what time is it? It's Tuesday at 2:08 Central. That's 3:08 Eastern. That's 1:08 PST. That's a great time to support indie comics, folks.
12:08.
12:08.
Whatever time.
1:08 Mountain, though. You were almost there.
Guys, I wish we could get just a little more enthusiasm.
Yeah, come on, Blake.
I get paid by the decibel. All right.
Like when you do that, I always think of the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Marion flips the mirror around and hits Indy in the face. And then he screams and she just leans over around the mirror and says, "What'd you say?" And I always want to do that when you're done shouting at us. What'd you say?
Guys, I'm gonna throw an impromptu plug for this little thing. Django, tell us what this is.
Oh, this is a web-based point of sale for comic stores and game stores. My partner Jeff and I run that, and we have about 120 stores signed up, growing pretty fast since ComicsPRO. It runs everything from your cash register to your time clock and all your ordering, all your FOCs, subscriptions. It does it all, and we're so glad to have stores excited about it. And holy cow, I need to update those old screenshots. Those are like 3 years old now.
Yeah, but look at that robot. Look at that robot.
Pretty cute robot.
So great. So great. So yeah, that's Comic Shop Assistant, which is available in some of the better comic stores out there. And some of the other comic stores are also using Managed Comics. And someday we're going to merge and we're becoming, what is the name that you always give it? You don't want Managed Comic Shop Assistant. You want like Comics.
Django and Jeff present a Brian Garside joint.
So yeah, if you go to managedcomics.com, you can join our webinars, get help, and sign up, and all that good stuff. And finally, gentlemen, talk to us about Comics the Magazine. Tell us what this thing is.
It's genuine enthusiasm from comics and print, starting off with Batman, absolute Batman.
Would you look at that cover?
Yeah.
Would you look at that
pretty cool.
cover? Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. We got Chew in there too. Look at that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
A week from Wednesday,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it got a little delayed due to some
2 weeks from Wednesday.
little
2 weeks from Wednesday.
things outside of our control. Let's put it that way.
No, but that's great because that means that some of us can still sneak copies into people's hands even earlier. So, you know, if you know a person that's involved in Comics the Magazine, you might be able to bribe them into giving you a copy. Wait, we're not allowed to.
If there are any retailers in the Metro Detroit area, please reach out. Gabe at pronadm.com. I'll come by the shop. I'll drop them off. It'll be a great time. I might even bring treats.
What if
And
we're
he will definitely bring a rate card. I'll tell you that right now because those things are flying around. I'm hoping that in the next week or two we're going to have a really cool announcement about the classifieds. For those of you who don't know and you want to advertise in Comics the Magazine and you would like a, you know, maybe not full rate card rate, which they can get pricey. Gabe, tell them how the classifieds work.
It's awesome. $1 a word. Y'all,
$1 a word.
And if you want an image, you want a QR code or whatever, an extra $20, right? Like, and here's the thing that we kind of bury the lead on this a little bit, right? And when you get your copy of Comics the Magazine #1, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and maybe I'll pull it up here so I can show it on screen. You don't just get a classified ad. You get a classified ad designed by Rico Renzi.
Yeah,
it's
pretty great.
Spectacular.
Okay, like this is not a small thing. It is a small thing physically. It is a large thing, transcendent
Emotionally, yeah.
I suppose. I love Adam's pitch for this because I think it's spot on, and I never would have gotten there. This is what social media was before social media.
Yep.
And returning to the physical version of that, we had some discussions over the week that kind of make me want to be more intentional and physical in everything that I do, you know, like online. And this is the perfect example of that. You have a collection you want to sell. You want to get people into your shop. You want to meet that pretty young thing you saw over the stacks at the local comic shop. Throw us a classified ad. It's inexpensive, and with any luck, 100,000 people will see it.
Yeah, absolutely. When he told me that idea, I was like, that's gold. Because the thing about advertising is, like, if you're advertising online, there is no scarcity. There's infinite numbers of places you can advertise. But advertising in a magazine, there's only X number of pages, and only Y number of those are going to be ads. And this is an opportunity for people to get an ad in there and not have to pay full page rate. So give it a shot.
There are 20 classified ads in the first issue.
Spectacular.
And again, they are advertisements designed by Rico Renzi. I'll tell you right now, Rico Renzi designs are not cheap.
Mm-hmm. And then what is it like? It's like what, 20? Is it 25 for an image or QR code or something?
$20. $20 to add an image here or a QR code. Yep.
Yeah, that's also a pretty sweet deal. You can get your logo or get them right to your e-shop or your content creation page. Or
I expect the demand to go up significantly now. So if you are going to want a classified ad, I highly recommend you making it really cool.
That's right. Yeah, because these rates are only going to go one way. So, guys, I just want to thank you all. Like, I had such a blast hanging out with all of you last week. We had so much fun, and this episode was even better than I expected. Did not expect to cry today. That was not on my bingo card. I think we're just going to edit that part out, Blake, if that's cool.
Nope.
And because I don't need that on the internet.
That's part of the show.
Don't need that on the internet.
It's a live show, Brian.
Note to self: anything that could emotionally devastate you in the future, you will pre-record and edit. Yeah, but yeah, honestly, thank you all for being part of this, and thanks for all of last week. And, to Adam, good luck in the sky, buddy. We'll see you shortly. And I think I'm going to do, you know what? Why don't we all do a thank you? So I'm sure you've all seen it. We, at the end of every episode, Adam or I will say, thank you for saving comics. It started as a tongue-in-cheek thing, and then at some point it weirdly became like an actually sentimental thing. So I'm going to start with Blake, and I'm going to go around clockwise. Everybody give one thing that, that somebody out there that you're going to thank for saving comics.
Oh, wow. Yeah, cool. Make me go first. All right. You know what? If you out there watching this, if you watch this show every week and you find joy in it, if you hop in our live streams and you drop a hashtag to try and enter a contest that we forgot to do this week that we apologize for, but we'll definitely do one next week because we totally will. If you leave a comment, if you share these on social media, you are proof that what we're doing is working, and you helped us save comics this week. You helped get our word out at this expo. We thank you. Thank you from us. We really appreciate it.
Nice. Django, what do you got?
Gabe, thank you for shaving comics.
Literally shaved comics.
You didn't tell anymore.
You get one out of me in a lifetime. So, this time I felt it was worth it.
It deserves a sincere thanks.
Do you want to thank anybody for saving comics, or is you're just going to stick with
same
shaving?
thing to me?
All right. Joseph Keating, what do you have?
We joke about it a lot, and sometimes I worry I'm being the wet blanket because I have a thing, which is the only thing that saves comics is great work. However, the positive end of it is there's a lot of great work being done right now.
Yeah.
So if you're working really hard, if you're working long nights and you're taking time away from your family to make a thing that will benefit them in the long run, and you're working really hard at it and you're making great craft, whether you're a creator or a publisher or a retailer, or you're the letterer, or you're the production designer who's working until 2 a.m. on a Friday because a book needs to get out, that's what saves comics.
Yeah.
So thank you.
100%. Gabe Yoakum, what do you got for us?
Joe's right. Maybe both of us are going to cry, Brian. I don't know. You work with people and you meet people online, and I had never met you or Joe or Blake. Well, I think Django and I have run into each other in the past, but being there in person and feeling the energy in the room and understanding that we are all kind of working in the same direction. You don't get that through a computer screen.
Yeah.
And so I guess I want to say, as selfish as it might seem, thank you to the Comics, the magazine, and Prana team, because there's a very real reality. There's a very real alternate universe where I never come back to comics in a real way. And if it's not for you guys, then I don't in this reality. And feeling the energy that came off of Joe and Adam talked about those signposts. You don't know it until you feel it. And I felt it through the screen, but not as hard as I felt it this week. And so thank you to all of you for we're not, I won't say that Comics the magazine is going to save comics. I will say it's part of a larger effort to make sure that comics never goes anywhere. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it after the week that I've experienced.
That is wonderful. And I'm going to say that, I follow professional wrestling. I know, Gabe, you do too. And a lot of wrestlers say that it's not the 5-minute match that kills you. It's the travel to and from the 5-minute match. And I can't think of a year where that travel was more difficult, whether you're traveling internationally, and there were a lot of international folks. Don't know if you guys know this, but your country ain't exactly the easiest place to get into. And many of us just aren't right now. If you are traveling to or from an area that was affected by a ridiculous amount of snow, and you're putting up with the travel delays that go with that. If you're just one of those folks that decided to fly out of Burbank and had to take some ridiculous connecting flight in Newark to get over to Boston, like, God bless you all. Like, thank you for doing the work to help save comics, because you know what? You help save comics this week. Namaste, y'all.